You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Oh, baby dogs, it is good to be back, and I am that bad girl. I am the Peach Machine. And folks, if you're listening to me right now, you are listening to the Peach Machine Parade, and that song just warms my heart because we just got back from Vegas, and I decided on the plane ride home I need to start a new show because I just cannot get enough of the Empire, and I want to learn all about everybody. And this is not going to be a wrestling show. This is not going to be an MMA fighter show. This is merely going to be an entertainment show. We'll talk love. We'll talk castles. We'll talk rainbows and stars. We'll talk anything under the sun, just not wrestling and MMA. A little shout-out to our sponsors before we begin here. Don't forget AngryMarks.com. They'll be hosting us, too. You can get the download feed after that on their site, AngryMarks.com. TeamVigny.com. That would be the Fitness for Champions website. Check them out. And, of course, WrestlingObserver.com. And tonight we're going to talk to the man who is the Vegas sensation. If you might have met him, he's a great guy. His name's Ed in San Antonio, and he's going to be on the line in just a minute here, and we're going to be talking the good old days back when I was the co-host on the Drunkcast. We're going to be talking all the wacky shenanigans from this past weekend. Good Lord, there were some hijinks. Quite a blur those last 3 days were. So, without further ado, the man with the plan, the man who probably ate the plan as well, and then the man who rolled it up and smoked the plan. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Ed in San Antonio. Ed.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, yeah, son. You know what this is?
What is it?
I want to get high, so high. I want to get high, so high.
Oh, we're already off to a good start, folks. This has been a great first 4.5 minutes. Ed, what's going on, man? It's your buddy. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, and as a matter of fact, I've been hitting my bong and getting high for like the last hour.
Just shocked that you'd be doing such a thing. Purely coincidental, I picked that song for your intro. Oh, man, are you recovered from the Vegas trip?
Yeah, I finally have got some sleep. I don't think I slept for more than 1 hour straight for 4 fucking nights, and got some sleep. My voice still haven't totally come back, but at least it didn't get as bad as the last 2 years, and people could actually have a conversation with me on the last 2 days.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. You're the notorious horse guy on the last day, where you've just either yelled, smoked, or drank yourself completely out of breath and out of life. And this week, yeah, you were a trooper, man. I never heard you. You didn't pass out, you didn't fall down, you didn't make an ass of yourself, but you did drop some big money. And we're going to talk all about the Vegas show. And the Vegas, the Vegas scene. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about, Ed, because this is a show for the listeners, for the Empire, about the Empire. Because I'm the princess, baby, and so I'm going to let my people speak. And you're one of my best friends, and you are the first one I said, I got to get Ed on the show. We used to do the Drunkcast together. How's that going?
Oh, well, actually, we got some awesome news the other night, just by a chance. I don't really do this, but there's you can check how your show's kind of doing compared to other shows in the categories. Like if you're sports, you can click sports. And I knew we were doing some really good numbers for the show, the Drunkcast that I did live from Vegas outside of the restaurant, ambushing everybody and putting them on the air. And I knew we were doing good, so I clicked on sports. And heaven and behold, we're numbered out of. It's actually gone up higher. There's more shows now, but at the time it was 2,375 sports shows total for that week, and we were number 3, one step ahead of fucking Wade Keller and the Pro Wrestling Torch Live. So we fucking kicked Wade Keller's fucking ass. So we're actually doing pretty good. I'm actually kind of excited.
Well, that's awesome news, man. I mean, all I've ever heard about after I quit the show is how it's just growing and growing and growing. And hey, I told you back a year ago, you didn't need me. you were the money right there. And so with the Drunk Cast, those of you who listen to it, Ed asked me to come on actually 2 years ago after the Vegas trip. He wanted to start his own show. I said, I'd love to do it. I'd love to.
Actually, you asked me to be on the show.
I did?
Yeah, the actual thing was, I was thinking of asking, it was going to be me and Clips, and then you asked to be on it, and I was like, well, shit, I can't tell my bro no, so you're on it. So that's how you got on it.
Oh, okay.
And thank God, because Clips disappeared after the second show.
Oh, that first show, that was dreadful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was like 2.5 hours of just absolute drunkenness, debauchery, not even debauchery, just stupidity. And then Clips is on the line for about 45 minutes by himself talking about a bee sting he got on the beach or something. And then we got to meet the man named Clips. So we're gonna get into the weekend here, Ed. You were quite the amazing man. You pulled off a lot of awesome things, and you met a lot of people. Tell me about your impressions of some of the people you met. How about Clips?
Clips is, it's kind of, everyone's been saying it, but it's true, dude. The dude is exactly like he is on the board. I mean, he's nonstop. He's full of energy. He's for all the shit he talks about picking up girls, he's actually pretty damn good at it. I mean, he was macking all over the place. Picked up some school teacher and fucking boned her in a hot tub. And, so he's everything he was advertised to be, and then some, man. Just a really good dude. I mean, besides, at the same time where he's a playboy and just out to have fun, he's also very, it's kind of weird because at the same time he's a suave ladies man, he's also very humble and very cool dude, laid back, and, he's a good dude. I mean, I'm fucking finally glad we got to meet him. I mean, I've been friends with Clips for years. I actually did my very first podcast with him. We had the abortion of a little show where basically this little abortion of a show started Rubber Guard Radio, the Drunk Cast, Terry Fierro show. Everyone who was on those first shows ended up getting their own podcast and shit. So, I was excited to meet Clips. He was awesome, man.
Yeah, he was a really good dude, and you said it best. He's exactly the way you'd expect him to be, with less of an ego. He's not a dickhead at all, and he's team real, man, and you can't deny that about the Clips man, because he was nice as could be, and then he ran that game like a champ. And it was great to meet him. It was great to meet everybody. And I got to ask you, were you surprised when you saw me?
Yeah, I was. I was actually fucking speechless. Can't believe you actually kept that secret from me, man. But that was a trip, because I remember, I guess I looked through the peephole, baby. I saw Jim. I know that's who I was opening the door for. Or, I don't know what it was. I just remember just standing there, Jim comes in, and all of a sudden, here comes the Peach Machine creeping in, and it's like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
Glad you made it.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I opened, I've had a rough last couple of months, money-wise and stuff, and I was like, man, I just can't do it. And so then I sold my car, I got a little cash, and I was like, I got to go. And I did it 2 weeks prior, and I'm very glad I did. It was a wonderful time. We all had a wonderful time. We got to meet some awesome dudes, and we're going to be having some of those dudes right here on the parade, because we're going to parade them all in, and we're going to put them on, and you're going to be able to talk to them. Strip Club Ed. Strip Club Ed. If you've not seen Strip Club Ed, you don't know the man 100%. He's in the zone. You are in the zone, my friend. When we got to that strip club, you took over. You knew how to play it, and I was shocked, to say the least.
I will say, with the exception of the dancer, this is probably the most epic fail of all the strip clubs, because I mean, it would probably be at the bottom. There were a lot of some of the best moments ever on this trip in certain things, but as far as the strip club goes, this is actually probably lower on the list, except for my dancer. We always which led to a very fucking funny story. Basically, it's because everyone took off and left me with no money, and I was extremely worried about how I was getting back, but I was kind of. Luckily, the guy who drove us, I went outside and I was talking to him, and I told him what happened, and I guess he felt sorry for me, and So that's why I gave him a big-ass tip, and I gave him a tip coming in, so he felt sorry for me. Give me a ride. It was me alone in the big old bus driving through the Vegas Strip, dude.
Well, how much did you end up dropping? Because I heard that you ran out of cash at some point. You don't have to disclose anything, but was it way more than usual?
No, not at all. It was usually about the same. It was because
you planned on spending that.
I actually kind of threw in a lot more for the bottle because sometimes Sideswipe gets stuck having to pay a little extra at the last couple of years for our drunk asses, so I decided I'm going to take more of the bottle this time. So I spent a little more on the bottle, and then I spent about $400 worth of dances. So it came out with like $8 in my pocket, and then to go back to everybody's at, everybody was gone. I was like, oh shit, that's going to be a long fucking walk.
Well, what happened was you disappeared, and then about 6 of the other crew disappeared, and I'm standing there with just the girls and Rahelius, and we're like, this is not me having a conversation. This is me just being like, bleh. And they're like, all right, I guess we should go. And we're like, where's Ed? We're like, we don't know. Well, I don't know either. And then I was like, hold on, there's a bunch of sushi over there on that guy's plate. Let me go eat all of that. So I stuffed that in my face. And I was like, wait, there's orange juice left. And I drank all the orange juice. I don't even think that I drank any of the vodka. I just drank all the orange juice, spilled a bunch of it on my shirt, and the next thing I know, I was in the hotel room, and it was morning, and I wanted to die. So you made it back around 4 o'clock. The suite was awesome. Watching SmackDown with Dave. Give me your thoughts on that.
Well, let me finish up with the strip club because I was having a good time while I was there getting dances because I was getting dances from this little Asian girl from Thailand, and we went to the private area, and this chick was just fucking rowdy, man. She was fucking actually pretty rough. So after a couple of the $100 specials, I went for the like half hour for like the $200 or whatever. Anyway, I got a hand job, so at least I got something out of all that money. But
really?
Yeah, this chick was just bumping and grinding me, and then she kept telling me like, to move around like I was like we were actually fucking or whatever. So I'm going buck wild. I heard a noise, dude. I didn't think nothing of it, dude. Right? So I got my dances, whatever, left, got to the apartment, got back, walked into the suite. And lo and behold, I look down, and my pants are just ripped down the fucking zipper area.
From fake fucking this girl.
Yeah, dude. So she took out my best pair of pants. And, in fact, it was really the only pants I brought. I just brought a bunch of shorts, so I was just going to wear those pants a couple times and, with my dress shirts. And, unfortunately, I was never able to wear my dress shirt, so I had to wear the same shirt like on the last day, and then on the day I went home and shit.
Wow, you were there for a while. You got there Thursday and you left Monday, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Monday night, actually.
I don't know if it's that. I got in Friday. My head was spinning, and I was out Sunday, and I don't think I could have added another day on each end there, man. That would have just ended my life, I think. On Sunday, I just laid it on the poolside. I had lost my swim trunks, God only knows where, and I was just lying in my jeans, just beating heat, and it was just brutal, sweating, wanted to throw up. So I was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. I went to the airport like 5 hours early and just laid at my gate. So that was a fucked up time.
Yeah, but going back to the suite, it was weird because it was almost like 2 parties in one. Mm-hmm. You had like the fuck wild party going on, everyone just being happy, talking shit, fucking drinking beer, getting fucked up, and then you had the Dave Meltzer SmackDown viewing party.
Right.
Which was pretty cool. I mean, it was getting cool. Go ahead.
As it was more of a Dave viewing party. Like, everyone was just in awe of the Dave Meltzer sitting there with his Under Armour hat and his glasses on backwards, and everyone was just sort of looking at Dave and picking at his brain periodically, and then it just became sort of a Q&A with Dave, like a call-in show, and people were just enthralled and entranced with what he was saying, and I did it for a little bit, but I was like, all right, I can't just listen to Wrestling Observer Live in this Vegas suite. So that's when I went over there and I said the line that everyone remembers for some reason. Do you remember me yelling this?
Yeah, and you not only yelled it, you jumped on top of the thing behind the sofa that was right behind Dave Meltzer.
I wonder if that fazed Dave at all. And I get up on top of the thing over there, and I go, anybody who's not a faggot, come and chug a beer. And I don't drink beer, but the few times I do, I just smash them. And then I ended up smashing like 6 beers, and I had already had a ton. I just wonder what Dave's perception of that is, because he takes it all in, but does he process anything that's not wrestling? Like, he's just always Dave being Dave, and you can't get him out of his Dave element. I challenged to fight him right there, and he's like, immediately went into the Dave Meltzer, well, you outweigh me, so that really wouldn't be a fair fight. And I'm like, Dave, I'm making a joke here, man. Come on. Like, snap out of it, buddy. I don't really want to fight you. I'm just trying to get you to laugh. And he's just, well, no, technically the odds would be in your favor, and I'm not going to. It's just like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, he's a machine. I mean, if whenever somebody was drunk or something happened, he just would kind of glance, no sell it, just go back to being Dave. I mean, it was a trip. I mean, and then,
you met him before.
It wasn't just, yeah.
Go ahead.
I met him before, so I didn't really try and hog up any time with him because I knew that a lot of new people were going to be like, they're not going to remember the fights. They're not going to remember the dinner or the dance party or this or that. They're going to remember fucking watching SmackDown and fucking Dream with Dave. That's their fucking highlight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brian.
I did love how when Brian made his appearance, you attacked him from the side.
Oh yeah. Well, he had that backpack on. I got under the table. My whole plan was to walk in, jump up on the table immediately, call out Brian for a shoot fight right there, and just go and just like not give him a chance to back out of it. And to my surprise, he wasn't there, so I just sort of did the creep in, and then I waited and I did the under the table sneak attack and just took his back. We really didn't do anything. I kind of just got on top of him, and everyone was freaked out about his camera getting all messed up. So I stopped, and we pulled him up. And then he surprisingly wanted to go into the bedroom. That's right, into the bedroom. And we worked on some jiu-jitsu techniques that he'd learned from Faber in the morning and showed me a couple of cool things. And
dude, the missionary position is not a jiu-jitsu technique, dude.
When you got your pants on, it is. And like I said, I'm gay, so it's not a big deal to me. That's my thing. I like getting in the missionary position with guys. That's why I'm so good from the bottom. Power bottom. That's my jiu-jitsu signature move.
Yeah, you haven't changed. But you also, I mean, when we got Brian, he got him down, but it wasn't that hard. But when Teddy Long made his appearance, the first time that there was a knock on the door, you just kicked straight under the table. And slowly we're making your way under the table, which I don't know how anyone could have not seen you. But the door opened and a few people walk in, and young Teddy Long, I don't know, dude, Teddy Long's tall for his age. I mean, he's a tall little kid. He was walking in, and basically he gets tackled from the kitchen and ends up in the bathroom on the floor.
Yeah, so be aware, if I'm going to be at one of the get-togethers, it could get a little rowdy. That's kind of one of the things that I do when I drink is get a little over. I get excited. I get what we call the sillies around here, and tend to sometimes act out. And were you there on Saturday night when Teddy and I exchanged chops?
I think I missed the chops, but I saw when you guys were doing the pose down with your shirts off.
Again,
I must have just missed it.
But usually it's me initiating the nudity, and it was actually Teddy who I looked over and had his shirts off, and I'm like, shirts off? Absolutely. So shirts off, and then it was, shirts off, chop the shit out of each other. And so I'm like, bring it, baby, bring it. And he unloaded a couple on me. It didn't hurt very bad, but I really no-sold it. And then did you see when I was about to give it to him, I would, do like the lean him over thing, and as soon as I would come forward, he'd tense up and back away and go, and I faked it like 3 times, and then I just gave him a little brush. But then Stevie got it in his head that he could take a chop and wanted to, and he wanted to do it in the worst place possible, his stomach. So, I really felt bad. But, man, did you see that one?
Yeah. I've never seen the CSI could have came by and not have to fingerprint you. They could have looked at his fucking stomach and fucking saw your fingerprints and fucking knew it was you, dude. I mean, there was a handprint. I was joking around that he fucking looked like Dusty Rhodes and had a blotch, dude. It was so bad. I mean.
Yeah. Well, you know, I got some of the best guys to teach me. Roddy's one hell of a chopper, and he showed me, you know, how to get full impact. And I took it from the ground, followed through it. Oh, my hand hurt. I couldn't imagine. He was bleeding. And I'm sorry, Stevie. Well, I mean, you asked for it, but I'm sorry, Lady J. So go to AngryMarks.com and leave Stevie a nice message in the chat there.
Yeah, that was fucking. That was gross, dude. I mean, you could see your fucking head. You could see every fucking thing in there. I mean, it was fucking gross, dude. But
now
that night,
I missed the fight.
Go ahead.
What? Well, go ahead. You continue.
Well, I was gonna say that night. That was the night we went to. That was after the fights, and we all converged on Dick's. And I was actually a little late getting to the party because I had to relive an enactment that I did on the first night.
Right. Kayfabe by a hooker. Right.
Yeah, kayfabe by a hooker. Yeah. And so anyway, I gotta say, I mean, that was a fun night. But Teddy Long, who is 19 and shouldn't have even been in there, was just on fire, dude. I mean, fucking. It was funny because he puts on the sunglasses, which really don't help to make him look any older, but everyone else put on their sunglasses, so there's like, it looks like we're like a whole group of douchebags just fucking dancing on the dance floor. Teddy Long was just fucking trying to get naked, trying to pick up Jakey and trying to kiss Jakey, and it had a fucking older, like chunky cougar. The one that had that I Love Rashad shirt was trying to pick up Teddy Long. Probably more than twice his age. and then finally, like after Dick's, we went to this other little bar. And it wasn't really a bar, it's just they got a quarter of the casino and kind of like put like some little like half walls kind of thing.
Right.
So they had some sofas. We were just sitting there on the sofas, and then I don't know what Teddy said, or it was 1-2 flirts too many, and Jakey just jumped on top of him and just pummeled him. He got like full mount and just pummeled him on the couch.
He just swatted the shit out of him?
Yeah, he was just swatting the shit out of this, fucking beat the shit out of Teddy. And then like Jakey took off, and then not too much later, 2 security guards just come beelining. We saw him from a distance just coming. I saw him when they first entered the room, just beeline straight to Teddy, and told him to get out. And luckily, you know, that's all they told him to do. I mean, he had to catch a flight in like 3 or 4 hours. So I would have sucked if Teddy would have got arrested and not been able to get his flight back to Germany, you know. But he took off, and I think that Hollis kind of went with him. Yeah. And then 5 minutes later, they came back. Because Teddy was drinking, he had a Mountain Dew bottle filled with vodka, and he kind of like just put that on the couch when he kind of like came to talk to him. So it was still there. So he came hauling his ass back real quick, all looking around, came back and got his bottle, and then went back to the hotel.
That's awesome. And then he couldn't bring it on the flight anyway, so either he pounded it or left it somewhere. So I got to give Teddy Long, I got to give him the most improved award, because 2 years ago he was 17 and he said, oh no mate, I don't drink, no, you know, I'm just here to have a good time. I can't do a German accent to save my life. I don't even know if he has one. He's like, oh mate, I can't have none of the alcohol in my blood because my mother says I'm too young. But this year, smashed out of his mind. 2 years later, I got to keep going until he's 21 at least. I got to go 2 more times because I got to see this kid in real live action. He's going to be a killer. He's going to be a ladies' man, and he's going to keep growing into that 6'6" frame, and he's going to be a monster as well. So, but as far as rookie of the year has to go to Jakey, without a doubt.
Yeah, Jakey was awesome. I mean, he's another, just like Clitz, he's exactly the way he is on the board. You read his posts, those long posts, that's exactly like how he talks. It's like, you know, he was just super cool, and so it was just hilarious watching Teddy Long flirt with him all weekend long.
Oh, that was funny.
And And he was also, we had the weirdest conversation on the way back from Margaritaville. There was no way in hell me and Cancer were going to walk all the way from Margaritaville back to the hotel like everybody else.
Well,
so
no, not Cancer. No, that's about 380 pounds too much for the sidewalk.
Yeah, dude, so me, Cancer, Cliff, and Jakey caught a cab, and Jakey informed me how there was a large portion of the gay population that would love me and said that I would make a great bear.
I heard that. Yeah, bear. That's a great. He's got to be right, man. You know, you got that grizzly look. You got that mullet ponytail going. Yeah, just like a bear.
And then I also loved when once again, Julie of all people causing trouble amongst the empire.
Oh.
By causing Jakey to go into a flying fit about Mariah Carey. And that was actually awesome. At first, I didn't know if he was serious or what, but
I still don't know. That was so funny. Julie, you're a really nice person, but you're dead to me. He was like gay to the gayest level of gaiety that he could not gay it up any further. And he totally took the gay heat off of me, but I was like, man, is this a work? Is he working us? That's just him, man. He's just a legit open guy, and he just doesn't give a fuck. And I love that about him. I love it. And Julie thought that was the funniest damn thing ever. And Jakey, I got your back, bro. I love Mariah Carey. So, Julie can just suck both of our cocks, although you wouldn't like that. All right. Where was I? Ed, ponytail.
Yeah.
When are you getting rid of it?
When I get my blowjob from Julie or Jim, they know what the deal is. They keep bringing it up, and they never go through. And I would have been happy for one of their friends, too. They weren't half bad looking.
Oh, yeah, they were pretty cute girls. And they, taking some outsiders and bringing them to our get-togethers, it can be a harrowing experience for them. The first time, I eased them into it real lightly and said, I'm going to the UFC show. You guys should come. Oh, by the way, there's going to be some people I'm friends with. Where'd you meet them? On the internet. Yeah, the internet. They're like, what? What is this? But they were troopers. They went along for the ride. It's because it's all about having fun, and that's what all of us want to do. Those photos from Dick's on that second night, it's just, I can't remember any of that, but I'm sure I was having a fucking awesome time. I'm sure everyone else was, and it's just a shame we can't do it more often.
Yeah, I heard my stupid, goofy-ass supervisor was smitten with one of the chicks in the group. Did you even know? Oh, I guess you don't remember what happened after the orange juice, but I haven't heard from my supervisor, so I don't know if he survived the night or not. I won't know until I go back to work next week.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that he was there.
Yeah, he's kind of a doof, but the line he did have the line of the weekend because apparently when we were at the strip club, him and Imrov's friend went to the stage, and one of the strippers asked him what he was doing, and he goes, well, me and him are just hanging around, but all these other guys are from some fucking wrestling message board. And the chick's like, well, she's like, that's weird, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He's lucky I even let him hang out with the crew.
Yeah, that's true, man. You look at that suite, you might have thought the Addams Family, and certainly not the Brady Bunch, but or you might have thought that that's a horribly dated reference. You might have thought ICP concert rather than a Britney Spears concert, but it's just a good crew, a good crew of people. I'm looking forward to talk to as many as I possibly can on the show because
It was pretty like you're saying now, okay, you got the Cancer over here, you got Jakey over here, you got Tits running around, you got our Frederick, he was cool, he always looked like he was in a haze. You had
right.
Dumpick just passed out somewhere in the corner, you had Dave Meltzer going to talking, you had Ben Miller and Todd Martin who looked like they'd never ever been in a party in their lives hanging out. You had Teddy, you had it was just a weird, very weird group, and everyone
right.
was just there getting along. It was crazy, man. It was just a great party. You had Brandon Taven, looking like he's at a biker bar.
Right.
It was just a most interesting crew. Dr. Lucha sitting there. I mean, it was just
With the higher line.
Yeah, just an odd-looking. You had Rodney there. You had 2 black people there for a change. You had 3 Mexicans there for a change. I mean, it was crazy. The hall is. I mean, it was just the weirdest assortment of people just hanging out. But it was cool as shit.
And I know, and you know, we're both very sociable people, and we're, you know, like to talk to everyone. And I just felt really spread thin, and it just, you know, like, hey, I want to talk to you for 30 seconds. I want to talk to Blue Fist. Oh, I like Blue Fist's girlfriend. She's cool. I like, you know, Rohibus' friend Dan. It's like I'm getting pinned down. I'm like, I can't talk to you for more than like 6 minutes. Like I got to do like speed dating here because I want to get so much info out of everybody else. It's like, oh, I remember when you did this. I remember this post that was so funny. Or remember this, and they'll say the same thing. Oh, did you really do this? How was this? And it's just like, you just feel like you're spread so thin, and then at the end it's just, and then you're drunk, and so you waste 90% of it anyway. But you got to come. If you haven't been, just make your trip now. Make your plans now. Come Memorial Day weekend. There's going to be a UFC show. There is. So who gives a fuck? As soon as you can, get your hotel, get your flight, and then just, you know, we'll make it a great weekend. My goal next year is to do Vegas on $0. I'm going to see if I can stay up the entire time. Hopefully I'll have enough flight miles by then to get a free one. See if I can not sleep so I don't need a hotel room. Try to pack as much protein powder and almonds as I can so I don't have to eat, and then just try to go like 72 hours. Just go.
Well, you're kind of a lightweight when it comes to drinking, so you're going to pass out eventually.
Well, I mean, pass out. I can pass out. That's no problem. I just, you know, it's just not going to be in a room. It'll just be someplace on the street.
Right. It'll be right next to a fountain with people throwing pennies over you to make a wish.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. You know, and then like I wanted to rehash last year and talk about who wasn't there. Like Plitster wasn't there. He hasn't been there in a while. TMN Liger wasn't there. You know, there were so many guys that I was expecting to be there. Fucking Seafood wasn't there. You know, that was a blow. You know, that sucked. He's always a good guy to talk to. And then you know, Vinny's girlfriend was awesome. Brian's girlfriend was awesome. And it's just such I mean, I can't explain how much genuine kindness there was in that room. And as big a dicks as we are on the board, as big a dicks as we are when we call in and make fun of each other, you know, it's a crew that can take it. And I'm just happy. to have met everybody. I'm still kind of high.
Yeah, I mean, it was a trip. I mean, it was really cool getting to talk to, like, Dr. Lucha again after me meeting him at WrestleMania, and then it was it's just so weird how everyone gets along. It's just, like, it's a cool party. And then, like, you know, Brian's girlfriend and Vinny's girlfriend, you know, they hate wrestling and don't want nothing to do with it. I can't imagine what Brian's girlfriend has to put up with during the week, but she was very nice and you know, really cool, and I mean, she was really, really nice. I mean, I thought, you know, Brian, I don't know what the fuck, he must have made a pact with the devil or something, but it's amazing he ended up with a girl like that.
Yeah, she's such a polite. I mean, his fucking grandma comes to the show. You can't beat that. Your grandma's that cool. I mean, come on, Gigi, keeping it real. I didn't get to meet her, but you know, I saw the photos. I met her last year, so I'm trying to think. What were some of your favorite memories there? What can we go back and rehash?
Well, Margarita was actually pretty cool. We had a good time there eating, and then you know, actually it was real cool. After Margaritaville, we've been there for a while, and a lot of the group had gone. They tried to go to karaoke, like the next casino over. Mm-hmm. So basically, just me and the Cancer, and the Hollis had kind of stayed around because Brian and his girlfriend were waiting to find Dr. Lucha because he had lost his phone and he had stepped out, and he had just went to get some fresh air. So we waited with them, and then when they were leaving, we found out that the crew was coming back because they wouldn't let Teddy in. So me, Cancer, and the Hollis are just kicking back on the corner, right there by Margaritaville, dude, and you know, I hadn't heard from Jen since before I got there, so I left her a voicemail, you know, asking her, saying that I needed someone to hook up for a booty call, and if she was available. So I left a message, and then not even like a minute later, here comes Julie and Jen and their friends just walking down the strip, dude. And I was just like, oh shit. So I just run over there, and I'm like, hey baby, what's going on? Like, I was trying to pick her up, and at first I could tell she's like, what the fuck? And then she sees me, dude, and then it's like, you know, it's all cool and everything. But it was just like out of the blue, you know, they just popped up, and we talked to them for a while before they went to what they were doing. And then I called Rodney because I knew that they had got there a little while ago. We were waiting for them. Like, what the fuck? Where are these motherfuckers? So I called, and Clips answers. And Clips is like, he goes, we're on so-and-so street. I go, dude, that's right next door. We should be seeing you here in a minute. He goes, okay, I'm gonna be flipping the finger off when I drive by. So right when he says that, the car, like, the light changes so that the cars go and they start to turn, and I see the finger, and I'm like, everybody is fucking Clips. And then fucking him and Rodney kind of stopped and yelled, and fucking we yelled back, and we're like, you know, hurry up, motherfuckers. And that was a cool night. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and then Jen told me that you guys did. I mean, what are the chances that you running into each other? First of all, that's just bizarre in and of itself. And then, you know, Klitz, didn't he like lose his phone or something, and somehow he got it back? Was that him?
No, it was Dr. Lucha.
Oh, he lost his phone. Yeah, again, another amazing coincidence. A lot of bizarre happenings that weekend. The guy I flew with in from St. Louis, I randomly happened to meet him. His mother gave me a ride to the fucking to Bally's, and then you know, it was just it was strange. It was kind of odd, but I do actually have a couple of questions here from the board that I promised I'd ask. So, well, I didn't promise shit to Diabhall, but I guess I'll go ahead and read his questions. What is your worst experience with drug use, Ed?
My worst experience, I'm not really sure what he means. Does he mean like a health scare kind of a thing? Like I thought I was going to have a heart attack?
I would say, like, what if you had a bad trip? Have you gotten sick off of something? Like, yeah, not heart attack or anything like that. Like, not health scare.
Well,
if you get arrested.
Let's see. Bad shit's happened when I've been on acid. One time me and my friends popped some acid when we were in high school, and I let my friend drive because I thought I was too fucked to drive because I was on acid. So I, you know, genius, let's let the other guy who's on acid fucking drive, right? And right. We were like about a block away from my house, not on the same street, but on a different street, and he kind of stops right in the middle. There's like 5 of us in the car. And he starts fishtailing. He starts fishtailing. He goes into someone's yard, takes out their mailbox in a little tree, and blows out fucking 2 tires. So, and then that was like one of the first times my mom ever let me take the car. It was my car. So we drive it a couple blocks away to another friend of mine, kind of outside another friend of mine's house. And then we just like took off. We just were walking around because I was just too scared to go home and tell my mom about the car. But you know, that kind of happened. That kind of happened. And one time we had a senior skip day, and I was tripping on acid, and we fucking missed a turn. And we hit a fucking roadblock. And at first, you know, we didn't really have nothing on it. It was like they pulled over 2 cars. There's 2 groups of friends, my friends. And they kind of just did the simple search where they just kind of like looked in there, didn't get too crazy. Well, they were letting us go. We were getting in the car, and then all of a sudden they pull a gun out of the other car.
Ooh.
And what happens, none of my friends carried guns at the time. It was just the guy who was driving that his little neighbor come by, and that little dumbass have no fucking reason to decide to bring a fucking gun. So then they were like, uh-oh, pull them over. So they just found paraphernalia on my car, but we're standing there on the side of the road with our fucking arms fucking behind our head. You know, other people from the fucking, from the party kind of heard and would drive by to see what was going on, or we're just there standing there with our hands back of our head. And there was a 3rd car in our group. Well, actually, there was 4. There was a 3rd one. They had all their shit ready to go when they hit the roadblock, and they let them go because they were the first ones. But when they made their turnaround, the cops remembered them, so they went and got them. And they had the keg and shit, and they ended up fucking cops. They didn't report the keg, that one of the things they caught us with, but they took the goddamn keg, fucking bastards. Put it in the
So then we
we gotta go fucking to the little courthouse thing, and like I say, I'm tripping on acid.
Oh,
and then they're gonna, we had like a
hey,
bottle, so they're gonna.
Hold on a second, Ed. Hold on a second. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you continue the story, but we got 3 minutes remaining in the show. Anybody who's listening, we're gonna keep going for about another 15 minutes, but we only have 3 more minutes live. We're gonna upload the show. AngryMarks.com will have it. We'll put a link on the radio show's forum under the same thread there, so you can download that. And we're gonna take this call that's waiting to talk to Ed. But we're gonna let Ed finish the story. We got a couple more questions from the board, so we're gonna be going another 15 minutes or so. Is that cool, Ed?
You might have to answer that phone before you go off the air.
Okay, all right, I'll do that. Then I'm gonna go. We're gonna take this call right now. Area code 6508. You're on the air.
You damn well better not read out my cell phone number on the fucking air, you fag.
Oh, I got it right here, baby. Don't even test me.
Peachy, welcome back to the
Yeah.
airways, brother.
Thank you. KZ,
Fucking
why weren't you at the thing?
Well, I just, excuse me?
Why weren't you there?
Because I have a life.
At the Vegas convention? You have a life?
Yeah, I have a life. You know, it consists of
it's
family and work.
Oh,
that
all right.
stuff.
So you have these like real life commitments that you have to make that you didn't feel like blowing off for a couple of days. Right. That's a pretty weak excuse. How you been, man?
Well, you know, just same old shit, brother. Same old shit. Same old,
Good,
same
good.
old.
KZ, I still want those ROH DVDs, KZ. I'm still waiting on those ROH DVDs. The one where I get name dropped by Dave Prazak because I'm such a big star.
They just got put out. They're not on the torrent site yet. So when they show up on the torrents, you will definitely get copies.
Okay, awesome.
But
Great.
yeah, they're not out yet. Because I don't buy ROH, so fuck them. But
I like how Ed goes. We got a show entirely dedicated to Ed. First thing, the first caller calls in and says something, and Ed demands something from him as a gift.
Actually, you know, I called in and I was listening. Ed in handcuffs. Go figure. A Mexican in handcuffs. Jeez. You know, if Alvarez were to get arrested, they'd have to use the little thumb cuffs on his little gay wrists. Skinny bastard.
Ed, you'd have to definitely use the grizzly sized handcuffs.
They'd have to use 2 pairs like Scott Hall.
What was that wrestling bear in the 70s? Terrible Ted, right?
Yeah.
There you go. We need to find the offspring of Terrible Ted and book him next year against Ed in a grappling match in Vegas.
Well, we're not going to do that necessarily, but I told you I've been talking to Brian a little bit, and I do want to make this announcement before we go on the air. I think I'm going to become the head moderator of the bodybuilding forum, and I'm going to work on another project, which would be getting Brian, myself, and maybe we need a couple other people to join up, and we're going to do Grappler's Quest next year at Vegas, so then we can all have another reason to come out there and support our F4W grappling team. So that'd be pretty fucking cool. But we're going to be gone in 10 seconds here off the air. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Peach Machine Parade, and we're going to keep talking here for about 15 more minutes. And go ahead, KZ, if you got any questions for Ed.
So, okay, actually, this is regarding the F4W grappling team. Are you guys gonna walk down to the down the aisle to the mats the same way the Gracies did, but instead of holding shoulders, you'll be holding crotches?
No, yeah, it's called the elephant walk. You know, thumb up the guy's butt in front of you, thumb in the mouth, and then switch every third step. Yeah, exactly, absolutely.
A little oil check before you get on the mats. That's cool.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the most common questions I get about wrestling when people are like, "Oh, you do that jiu-jitsu stuff? Like, does your finger ever go in the guy's ass?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it does quite a bit actually, and it's not cool when it happens."
Unless you're receiving. Well, then.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I meant took his hand and put it up my ass and then crushed it like a walnut with my buns of steel. Ed, wrap up that story. What happened at the end?
Oh, well, fucking, they take us down they take it down to the courthouse, so they're fucking, they're going to charge my group, with having a bottle of Everclear, and they were going to charge us for the paraphernalia, because I had like a stupid little pipe and one of those stupid little dime scales.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so then I'm tripping on acid, and I was like the only one who was on acid. And so as soon as they say that, I'm like, there's one friend of mine who's like pretty clean cut. You know, he didn't really fuck around. He was just driving with us. Kind of like this, like I could tell he's like, oh shit, you know, he's gonna get in all this trouble because fucking he's gonna get a paraphernalia thing. Parents are gonna think he's doing drugs when he's actually, you know, a good kid. So I'm like, fuck. I go, oh sir, that's the fucking paraphernalia is all mine. That shit was all mine. He's like, well, since you're brave enough to try and take the blame, we're only going to charge you for that, but we're going to charge everyone for the bottle regardless. So, so anyway, all that shit happened. So they take our fucking bottle of Everclear, they take our cases of beer, and they take our cake, and the only thing they wrote down was that they found 2 cases of beer, so they fucking pocketed about fucking 4 cases of beer, a cake, and our bottle of Everclear, so they had a very nice Christmas party next year, fucking sons of bitches. So then, but the story's not over. We leave. I mean, pretty much by the time we're out of there, the fucking the senior skip day is pretty much over. So we go to one of the guys that was in the group. He lived right across the street from the school, right on the corner. So we go in there, and we're just sitting there, and we're like, fuck, man, God, I can't believe all this shit happened. Well, apparently at the senior skip day, there was a free-for-all between the jocks and all the bikers. And they were all fucking strapping it on, and the party left us wherever they were at. And apparently they came straight to the school for some reason. So this one friend of mine comes in, he's like, man, it's crazy out there. We're like, what the fuck? So we step outside, and there's one of my friends is storming around like a madman, and something else happened, and then all of a sudden, here comes the rematch, and fucking next thing you know, fucking there's fucking like 7, 8 different little straps going on in the street in front of the school in my friend's house. And this one friend of mine the one guy who got away from the roadblock, who was drunk and fucking was just walking around like a dumbass, talking about how he got away and he was all cool. Anyway, he got a little too close to one of the fights. So a guy threw a punch, the other guy missed, punched my friend right in the face. My friend went back into the security guard who had finally made his way there. The security guard grabbed him, threw him in his car, fucking took him into the parking lot. They called the cops. The cops came and got my friend and arrested him. So he thought he got away, but he was the one that actually got arrested out of all of us. But,
well, came full circle. So.
They finally broke up all the fights. You know, there was like my one buddy just beat the living shit out of this one guy. He was all bloody, and it was made clear that the jocks were better than the bikers that day. But, you know, unfortunately we missed the first part of it. But, you know, that was just, and like I say, I was on acid, so as crazy as all that was, it was 10 times intensified. So I'm standing around like, you know, I was in World War II. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Well, look what you did, Diablo. You wasted fucking 17 minutes of the show with your question because Ed rambled on. And we got another question, and Jakey wants to know it. What sexual act would you not do if a hooker asked you to it? She offered up a sexual act. What would you do? Would not.
What I do or wouldn't do?
What would you not do if she said double-ended dong, your ass, my ass, let's do it, free? You doing it?
That's probably the only thing I ain't going to do. I'm sorry, but no strap-on action for Ed in San Antonio.
Gotcha. And KZ, sorry to put you back on hold there. I do want to keep the show under an hour because I just want to keep it tight and in a timely fashion here. Let me look at anybody else has any questions for Ed. Tarmus wants to know when our next Empire meetup would be. So I'll just ask it like this. Ed, when are you planning on going back to Vegas?
Well, I'm not going back to Vegas until next Memorial weekend. But
oh, really?
I do plan on being at WrestleMania in Atlanta, and I think Mr. Highlight is working on hooking up like 15 rooms. So that should be pretty cool.
I will be there as well. In fact, I already have my hotel booked. I used Senior Highlight's gimmick that he had out a couple times ago. I rented a room for me and 3 of my buddies that were coming from St. Louis. So I will be there Ed will be there. We know Brian and Vinny will be there. Atlanta's a fucking great show. Great city. I was there for the Rumble, and it's a lot of fun to do. It'll be even more fun in the warmer weather. And then
but aren't there a bunch of Rodneys running around?
No. There's a bunch of blacks running around.
Oh, okay. There's a bunch of cancers running around. A bunch of cancers.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I had homeless black people. Right. No, not cancer. Homeless black people.
Yeah, so we'll see. The cancer was cool. He was real laid back, and Yeah, man, you guys excluded me from the green party, man. I needed to get in on the green room action. I never got to. Oh, we couldn't smoke in the suite. That's the problem, so.
Dude, there's no rules in Vegas. I saw a 4-year-old singing the lyrics to "I'm in Miami, bitch. Take off your polka dot bikini, bitch. Get your motherfucking hands up."
Well, it is when there's when there's a $200 fine and it's on Rohiblis' credit card.
I'm just saying, man, we could have made it work. That's all I'm saying. I'd have gone did a little hydroponic in the pool water, man. We could have figured it out.
Hey, you had other chances. On Saturday you could have, and Sunday you had to go to the airport all early and shit. So it's not like you wouldn't have had chances there, buddy.
At that point, I wasn't trying to get annihilated even more. I was trying to get unannihilated, and so, But yeah.
Speaking of which, we have to get to this story that we haven't gotten to. Now, when I got to the party at Dick's, you were there chatting away with, I guess, your friend that you said you met on the airport and his sister. And when we went inside the Dick's, the two of you were making out like, I don't know, 13-year-olds making out for the first time. I mean, some serious tongue action just going fucking crazy. And apparently, a lot of people were in the impression that you might have gotten into in trouble with somebody else. And what happened by the end of the night because the last time I saw you, you were picking this girl up and carrying her out of Excalibur. So what exactly happened after that?
Let me explain myself here, folks. Alcohol and Vicodin is a poor combination, and that's not an excuse for being an asshole to a friend, but it does impair your decisions. And now, had I been of right mind, I might have backed it off a little bit. Don't know, can't say for sure. Was still pretty drunk, but I was not thinking. And that girl was, just a Vegas make-out session. We went to another club. We made out some more. We went back to her hotel room, and we both passed out, and no clothes came off. Sorry to say, Ed got more sex than me in Las Vegas. Not an impressive story. You got more sex than anyone. I mean, that's without a doubt.
I even got more sex than Fitz, so,
Right. You probably got, what, you ejaculate 4 times and clips maybe once, and then, maybe Brian got a handy or something in the airport, or Vinny got a little beach action on the roller coaster. I don't know, but I did not ejaculate, because if I would have drank that shit down.
Well, at least I know where you slept. I was like, man, I wonder if he goes back to the room, they're going to let his sorry ass in.
It was a sore subject for a while, and but we're past that. We're moving on. Vegas is Vegas. There's a saying about Vegas. I can't recall what it is, but we probably shouldn't have been saying that story anyway. Not a great decision, and I sort of want to apologize, but I sort of don't want to apologize because I don't really care that everybody saw me making out, but I can see how some people think that that's a little bit offensive. But at the time, I don't think anyone was looking or caring or giving a shit about this girl and myself. But
I don't think everyone was getting ready just for y'all to start having sex on the table.
Yeah, I was not feeling that at all. So whatever.
Yeah, that was one hell of a fun night. I mean, seeing Vinny V just going absolutely ape shit on the dance floor. I mean, that's the thing about Vinny. When he's in Vegas, he comes out of his shell. You know what I mean? He came out that night and he fucking took court on that fucking dance floor and he ruled that motherfucker.
Absolutely, he was on his A game. Who else was on their A game? Logan.
Doc C, and Freeway, the Canadians were out there fucking busting the move too. You know, Doc C, you know, he's married, you know, family man, and he was out there fucking going crazy as anybody else on that dance floor.
Yeah, Vinny is a renowned dance machine now, and so I think next year we need to have a dance off, possibly. We'll have to maybe do a Soul Train, perhaps. Something. We'll get some sort of competition that way. Everyone can compete next year if they don't want to do the grappling contest.
Yeah, we could just hit Dick's and have a dance. That'll be our. You know, we've been going to Dick's anyway, but now we can just make it official where it's a Dick's dance party after the fights and shit.
That would be bitching. I'm dead serious. I'm already looking into hotels for next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome, man. I mean, we had probably close to 50 people total at one point or another, and you know, there's so many people who, you know, because there's way more pictures this year, and now there's even video. You know, there's like video of. Have you seen Rohiblis' video?
I couldn't get any of the videos to load on my computer. All the embedded ones didn't work, so I don't know.
Oh, well, you gotta check out Rohiblis one. He made an awesome one to Wild and Young.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll try to get that one to work. But
that was awesome, and then yeah.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna wrap it up because. Go ahead. Final thoughts here, Ed.
All right, well, we do have two new ones that we had. We made the last acts of the Empire were that Sunday morning. You know, we were broke, tired, pretty much getting ready to disperse. There was 6 of us, and I remember that I had 2 bottles of vodka left over from the suite. So we went and got to the suite. I went and got to the vodka. We came and we videotaped ourselves. First we made a video of us chugging a bottle of Sky in like 2 minutes. And then we got a bottle, that was a bottle of Absolute. Then we had a full bottle of Sky, and we put that away between the 6 of us in like 3 minutes. So we went from being fucking tired and burnt out to being fucking drunk again. And Junior Horseman chugged the most, and as soon as he finished the second one, he ran to the bathroom. And the Hollis ran after him, and got him kicking on camera. And then he's all, and then he looks and he's like, hey. But we got like 2 videos of that. So yeah, everyone check out those videos. They're cool as shit.
Well, hey, why don't you throw out some plugs? What do you got coming up on the Drunkcast?
Well, this Friday, unfortunately, might be one of the most boring, awful, god-awful shows in the history of the Drunkcast. Because unfortunately I'm going to have to listen to my goddamn co-host talk about Survivor for like an hour, because we will be joined by Johnny Fairplay from Survivor fame and TNA fame, and I think I'll get to ask about 5 minutes of wrestling questions, and then basically it's probably going to be all Survivor. So I don't know how this show's going to.
Well, I mean, can you really say fame with Johnny Fairplay, or can you just sort of just assume that it's infamy? And I want you to ask just one question.